Hello, welcome to our after-school theater troupe production today. We appreciate you coming. If you want to, you can be out in the front here too, that's fine. The closer you are to the center, the better you'll be able to see. If you have a cell phone or something, if you would turn it off or put it on silent, we'd really appreciate that so it doesn't distract the kids while they're doing their show. Studio One is here filming, so if you would like a copy of the production, you are welcome to talk to the wonderful person back there about how to do that. If you want to take photos, you can do that after the show. We'll leave the kids in the costumes and they can pose for you or whatever you'd like, so we can do that. If your child really had a good time, and I think they did you guys have a good time?
Yeah.
They're off that way and I told them to be quiet, so see, they followed instructions. The SMSU does a summer children's theater workshop for the first 2 weeks in June. It's an intensive one and it gives them a lot more opportunity because it's a full operating theater. And so they learn a lot and they get to do all kinds of fun things. So if you're interested in that, that will be in the community services brochure coming up. Thank you for helping your children learn their lines and be enthusiastic about doing something a little different. I appreciate that. They were great to work with. I really enjoyed it. I hope they come back and do this again because it's a fabulous group. So without further ado, here is the 3 questions.
Oh, come on, Your Majesty, let's use smile. Give me a big chuckle, a little chuckle, a smirk.
Nickelbottom, what's your job here at the castle?
Why, I'm your Prime Minister, sire.
Do you like your job?
Yes, of course, Your Majesty.
You'd like to keep your job?
Yes, of course, Your Majesty.
Then go someplace else.
But, Your Highness, you're out of sorts.
And you'll be sorted out of here if you don't stop trying to play coochie-coo.
Your wish is my command, sire.
Then be gone.
You're sure?
Nickelbottom?
Yes, of course, Your Majesty.
Any improvement yet, Nickelbottom?
I'm afraid he's gotten worse, Princess Christina.
What can we do?
Well, my job is to disappear, so forgive me.
Hello, Father.
Christina, how fare you?
Better than you, I'm afraid. What's wrong?
For some reason, it's just hit me.
What has?
It's tough being a king.
It's nothing they can teach you in school.
No, and just when you thought you got the tiger by the tail, it grows another tail.
I'm not sure I understand.
I make many decisions every single day, every single hour. But am I right? Am I making the best decisions? If I only had the answer to these 3 questions, I know I'd be doing what's right.
What 3 questions?
When is the right time to begin everything? Second, who are the people I should turn to get advice? And who are the people I should avoid? And lastly, what is the most important thing to do?
Those are very difficult questions to answer, Father.
I know. But who can I turn to get this advice?
There are many learned scholars. Perhaps they...
Of course! I'm sure with all the learning that goes on in all the schools across the kingdom, I'm sure I can find someone, somewhere, who can help me get this advice. Nickelbottom! Nickelbottom!
I'm sorry, Your Highness, I'm sorry.
For what?
For whatever I've done wrong.
It's not what you've done, it's what you're going to do.
1 week later.
Your Highness, I have asked the most learned scholars in all the kingdom to come to the palace today to answer your 3 questions.
You're sure they are learned?
Yes, they have MAs, BAs, MBAs, PhDs, ABCs, and XYZs after their names.
Most impressive, Prime Minister.
Thank you, Princess Christina.
Then let me see some of these learned scholars.
Are you ready to answer His Majesty's first question?
Of course we are.
Very well then. Then tell me, scholars, what is the right thing to do at the right time?
That couldn't be simpler. Begin at the beginning.
Now, let's not be too hasty.
But it's the only logical place to start.
You must have a plan before we begin anything.
Well, I agree. We must be prepared. However,
The plan should be tabled for days, weeks, months.
yes, perhaps even years.
It should be mature like fine wine.
And all the while, you must think about what you are going to do.
Do not waste time on idle pastimes.
Be vigilant and watch everything.
But don't you think watching everything is beyond scope of a king in his castle?
Yes, I suppose so. I have it. There must be a council of wise citizens like us.
To help the king fix proper times to do anything.
And the proper time for you two to say goodbye is now.
Oh well, goodbye.
Well, Nickelbottom, I hope you have found more learned scholars to answer question 2.
Yes, of course, Your Majesty. His Majesty will now ask you a question. Are you prepared to answer?
We wouldn't be scholars if we weren't.
Indubitably.
Very well. Then tell me, when considering a problem, who are the right people to listen to, and whom shall a king avoid?
Well, Your Majesty,
Well, Your Majesty,
I say right off the top of my mortarboard,
I say right off the top of my motorboard,
it's best to first listen to your general.
it's best to first listen to your generals.
No. All they will want to do is start a war.
But they know your enemies, Your Majesty.
But they
Know your enemies,
don't know your enemies, Your Majesty.
and you should avoid your enemies at all costs.
And you should avoid your enemies at all costs.
No. I say listen to those who own the most land.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
They'll just want to own more land.
They'll just want to own more land.
But they will have a sense of what,
But they will have a sense of what will happen in the future.
well, yes, I suppose the future
Well, yes, I suppose the future
is the most important thing.
is the most important thing.
So it's best to listen to those who predict the future.
Well, it's best to forgive those who
Predict the future.
predict the future.
Of course, magicians.
Magicians. Surround yourself with magicians and you'll know what's going to happen in advance.
They will know if it's going to rain.
They don't know if it's going to rain.
Or shine.
They can make gold coins disappear.
Or pull a rabbit out of a hat.
I see. Perhaps I am a magician.
How so, Your Majesty?
Also, Your Majesty,
I can also predict what is going to happen in the future.
Remarkable.
Remarkable.
What is going to happen?
what is going to happen?
You are both leaving the castle immediately.
But Your Highness,
But Your Highness,
You heard His Majesty. Out!
I'm afraid this is more difficult.
I'm afraid this is more difficult than we anticipated.
You see now why I wear a long face and my heart is heavy?
Do not fret, sire. I have saved the most learned and scholarly scholars until last. I am warning you, scholars. This is a most serious business.
Be assured, we are most serious. We haven't sped in years.
Very well. His Majesty will ask you a question.
It will be our pleasure. There are no questions that we cannot answer.
Refreshingly confident. Then tell me, scholars, when is the right time to begin everything? Oh, sorry. What is the most important thing to do?
That is simple, Your Majesty. Do whatever comes first.
Wait a moment, that makes no sense. The first thing I do each morning is brush my teeth.
But that is hardly.
That is hardly as realizing I'm alive.
Well, of course you're alive if you can brush your teeth. But I see your point. Maybe the most important thing to do in the morning is to have breakfast.
I agree it's important.
I agree it's important.
After all, without a good breakfast, you'll be tired and grumpy all morning.
But if you have to talk to the king, is it that important?
Still, the most important thing to do is to get to it, to start.
Oh, so you're going to jump right into the middle of not knowing? For example, what caused the thing?
What difference the cause? The thing that's happening is what matters.
What's happening?
What's happening?
Whatever what is.
Whatever what is.
The thing we're talking about.
Yes, the most important thing is to do.
Is what? Nickelbottom?
Be gone from here!
I still think I'm right.
You always think you're right.
Because I am.
Because you am what?
Oh, Father, perhaps your questions have no answer. It appears no one is smart enough.
Nickelbottom, what say you?
I must agree with Princess Christina. These questions seem far too complex to answer.
Oh, so shall I seek a new prime minister?
I only disagree with Princess Christina on this one very minor point.
And what point is that?
She says that no one is smart enough, but the laundress of my wife's cousin says that there is a hermit in the everlasting forest that can answer your 3 questions.
A hermit? Then I must speak to this hermit immediately.
But Father, you cannot meet a hermit dressed as a king.
I suppose that would frighten the creature.
But Father, you cannot meet a hermit dressed as a king.
I suppose that would frighten the poor creature. Nickelbottom, find me suitable attire for meeting a hermit.
You're serious, Your Highness.
It's your last chance. Ready, my horses! Alert the guards! We are heading to the everlasting forest!
That afternoon,
Dig-a-doo, dig-a-doo, wop-a-ding-doo, wop-a-ding-doo. Dig so deep, dig no sleep. Dig through dirt and dig through rocks, dig to see what treasure unlocks. Good day, stranger.
Good day. I've come to you, wise hermit, to ask you 3 questions.
Yes?
First, what is the most important thing to do? Second, who shall I listen? Who is the most important person? And who should I avoid? And lastly, what is the right time to begin everything? You seem to have grown very tired. Here, give me the shovel. I'll dig for a while.
Most kind of you.
Perhaps you didn't hear me clearly. I've come to you to ask you 3 questions. I've asked you 3 questions.
Who is the most important person? What should you learn? What should you do first? And what should you learn to do?
Yes, and I am lost without an answer to those questions.
They're very difficult ones to answer, you understand? I've grown tired. Let me work a while.
Time passes.
I've come to you to ask you 3 questions, but I have not gotten an answer. Instead, all I've done is dig holes. If you cannot give me an answer, then tell me so, and I will return home.
Wait, my friend. Someone is coming. Let's see who it is.
This man's badly injured.
Indeed, he's been down.
Here, this might help.
Take the bucket and fetch water from the stream.
Yes, of course.
Can you tell me what happened?
No.
All right then, don't try to talk. I will go and find Wilbur to ease the pain.
Do you have a name, sir? Do you have a name, sir? Can I ask you what happened? You've lost a lot of blood. Here, this might help. The bleeding should stop. That rag should soak it all up. You gotta stay calm. The old hermit will return soon. There, that's better. You need rest. That's the most important key there is. Just rest. Are you okay?
Here is Willowbark to ease the pain. I will go and see if there's any danger nearby. You stay with her.
No, you may endanger yourself. Let me go.
I know this forest well. This is my home.
How are you doing? Are you alright? Don't speak then. It's alright. Just please rest. You need rest.
Time passes.
What time is it? Must be morning. Didn't think I was so tired. Must have been all that digging. How are you?
Forgive me.
Forgive you? I have nothing to forgive you for. I don't even know you.
You don't know me, but I know you. I'm an enemy of yours. I could not pay my taxes, and you seized my property, so I swore vengeance on you. I followed you through the forest, and I hoped to do you great harm, but then I stumbled upon your guards. They attacked me, stabbed me, but
Yes?
you saved my life. Forgive me for what I hope to do. And if you let me live, I'll serve you better than any other.
You will live, but rest. That's the best there is to rest.
Nothing like a beautiful dawn to make one see things clearly.
See things clearly? I see nothing clearly. I'm in a fog. I came to you with 3 questions, but I ended up saving the life of one who tried to kill me or to try to do me harm.
Life can be confusing, good sir.
It would be less so if my questions had been answered.
But they have been answered.
What do you mean? How?
Well, if you had not pitied my weakness yesterday or not dug those holes for me, but had gone on your way, the man would have attacked you and now you would be injured or worse. So you see, the most important time was while you were digging the holes. And the most important person was me.
I didn't stop to think of any of that.
Of course, because you acted from your own instincts. Later, when the man stumbled up to us, you attended him. If you hadn't, then he would have bled to death, and he would have never made his peace with you. So you see, the most important time was while you were attending the man.
I am starting to understand now. So the most important time is,
Now, the only time we have in our power
and the most important person,
is the person you are with at the moment.
and the most important thing to do is
To do him good, for that was a man sent into the forest.
Your Highness! We have been looking for you all night. A man broke through the guards. He's bent on attacking you.
I'm fine, I am here, and the man lies here.
Guards! We found him. We'll haul him to the gallows.
Nickelbottom, you're overreacting. We will seek to his wounds, and we will bring him to the castle gently.
But Your Highness, that That makes no sense.
Life can be very confusing at times.
Indeed, Your Majesty.
What has this old fool been telling you?
You see, this wise fool has answered all my questions, and I will be forever grateful.
Really? What did he say?
Shall I leave the Prime Minister here to find out for herself?
I prefer you give it to her in a nutshell. For a hermit, I've had a lot of company of late.
So, what was the answer to the first question? You gotta tell me!